You step off the boat, and the first thing you notice is the air. It feels different, raw, untamed, not filled with centuries of life, but something newer, unfinished. You hear wood creaking beneath your feet, water hitting the docks, voices, rough, unfamiliar accents mixing together, Dutch, English, something else. You look up. This is not a great city, not yet, just a settlement. Wood, mud, possibility. This is New York, the 1600s, and everything here is just beginning. You walk forward carefully, because even the ground here feels unfinished. Wooden planks shift slightly under your weight. Some are loose, some are broken. Between them, dark water, waste, mud collecting in shallow gaps. You look up. The buildings are small, low, built quickly, not for beauty, not for comfort, for survival. Rough timber walls, uneven edges, roofs patched with whatever could be found. Nothing here feels permanent, because it isn't. This place is still becoming something. You hear it before you fully understand it. Hammering, constant, sharp, close, everywhere. Men are building, always building, cutting wood, lifting beams, driving nails into something that did not exist yesterday. The city is growing in real time, right in front of you. A structure stands half finished. Another already looks worn. Time moves differently here, faster, harsher, less forgiving. You step aside as two men carry a long wooden beam between them. They don't look at you. They don't slow down. There is no space for hesitation. Everyone here is part of something being forced into existence. Not planned, not perfect, but necessary. You begin to understand it. This is not a city yet. It is an idea, being built by hands that cannot stop, and if they do, it all falls apart. The streets are not really streets, not yet. They are paths, formed by repetition, by footsteps that pass the same way every day. Mud pulls at your boots with every step, thick, heavy, unforgiving. Water collects in shallow pools, reflecting broken pieces of sky between leaning roofs. There are no clear edges, no lines, no order, only movement. You step forward and feel the ground shift beneath you. Wooden planks appear in places, thrown down to cross the worst of the mud. Some are stable, some are not. You learn quickly, test each step, or fall. Animals move freely through the same space as people. Pigs wander past you without hesitation. Chickens scatter at your feet. A goat pulls against a rope tied loosely to a post. No one controls them fully. They belong here as much as anyone. You hear a cart before you see it. Wheels grinding, wood creaking under weight. The driver shouts, not asking you to move, telling you step aside. Too slow, and you are part of the road. Everything here is shared, space, filth, noise, risk. There is no separation, no structure, only the beginning of something that will one day become a city. But right now, it is still raw, still forming, still uncertain, and you are walking through it before it becomes something else. You begin to notice the people more clearly now. Not just faces, but differences. This place is not one culture, not one language, not one world. It is many, forced into the same space. You hear Dutch spoken first, sharp, direct, then English, slower, different rhythm, then something else. Voices you don't understand at all. African languages, carried across the ocean, forced into this place. You see sailors moving through the streets, rough, loud, temporary. They belong nowhere and everywhere. Traders stand near their goods, watching carefully, counting every coin. Trust is thin here, very thin. Laborers move constantly, carrying wood, building walls, lifting something that is not yet finished. Their bodies are tired, but they do not stop. they cannot. And then you notice something else, the difference in who is free and who is not. Some walk with purpose, others move with permission, eyes lowered, voices quiet. Chains are not always visible, but they are there, in movement, in silence, in who is allowed to speak. This place is growing, but not equally, not fairly, not for everyone, and you can feel it, even without anyone saying a word. Everything here is work, not organized, not refined, but constant. You hear it before you see it. Axes cutting into wood, heavy, rhythmic, unforgiving. Trees fall one after another beyond the edge of the settlement. The forest is not gone, but it is retreating, slowly, piece by piece, man against nature, and nature is still stronger. For now, you walk closer. Men move with purpose, no wasted motion. Every strike matters. Every log becomes something, a wall, a roof, a dock, a future. Hands are rough, split open, covered in dirt and resin. No one stops, because stopping means falling behind, and here, falling behind can cost everything. Nearby, others build, wood lifted, measured by eye, cut without precision, but it works because it has to. Structures rise quickly, not beautiful, not permanent, but enough to survive another day. You hear shouting, orders, different languages, Dutch, English, commands overlapping, misunderstood, repeated. Still, the work continues because it must. A man wipes sweat from his face, even in the cold. Another stumbles slightly, then keeps going. No one helps, not out of cruelty, but necessity. Everyone carries their own weight here. You begin to understand something. This place is not finished. It is becoming. Every board placed, every tree cut, every wall raised is part of something larger, something no one here fully sees yet. There are no guarantees, no certainty, only effort, only time, only survival. And still, they build, because if they stop, nothing will remain. You follow the voices. They pull you toward an open space between buildings, not large, not organized, but alive. This is the market, the center of everything. Without it, nothing here works. Wooden tables stand unevenly in the mud. Some lean, some barely hold together, but they are enough. They have to be. Fish lies in rows, dull-eyed and stiff, the smell sharp and constant. Bread is stacked beside it, dense, heavy, dark, not soft, not fresh, just necessary. A man cuts meat with slow, practiced movements. You watch closely. You're not entirely sure how long it has been there. No one asks. No one wants to know. Hands move constantly. Coins pass quickly, small, worn, important. Every exchange matters. Every mistake costs something. Voices rise, not in anger, but urgency. Cheaper here. Better quality. Last of the day. People don't browse. They decide, fast, because hesitation means losing what little is available. You notice the tension, not loud, but present, always present. A woman argues over price, not because she wants to, because she must. A man refuses, not because he is cruel, because he cannot afford to give more. This place runs on need, not comfort, not choice, need. A child reaches for food, pulled back immediately, not allowed, not safe, not theirs. You feel it now. This is not just a market. It is survival. Condensed into one place, every smell, every voice, every movement reminds you of one thing. Nothing here is guaranteed. Not tomorrow, not even today. You are handed food, no ceremony, no presentation, just necessity. A piece of bread is placed in your hand, dense, heavy, slightly damp from the air. It doesn't break easily. You have to tear it, slowly, with effort. Then comes fish, salted, preserved more for survival than taste. The smell is sharp, strong enough to stay with you even after you stop eating. You hesitate for a moment, then you eat, because you understand something now. Food here is not about comfort. It is not about flavor. It is about time. How long it will last, how far it can travel, how many mouths it can feed. Each bite is measured, not by hunger, but by necessity. Fresh food exists, sometimes. If ships arrive, if weather allows, if nothing goes wrong. But often, something does. Supplies run low, meals become smaller, thinner, less certain. You notice how people eat, quickly, quietly. No one wastes anything, not crumbs, not bones, not time. Because here, food is never guaranteed, and hunger is always close. You move toward the shoreline. The ground changes beneath your feet, from mud to wood. Rough planks, uneven, shifting slightly with every step. The smell reaches you before the view does. Salt, rot, wet wood, and something else, something stagnant. Then you see it, the water, wide, endless, stretching far beyond anything you can fully understand. This is not just a river, not just a harbor. This is everything. Ships move slowly across its surface, some large, heavy, filled with goods, others smaller, worn, barely holding together. They arrive constantly, or they don't arrive at all. And that difference changes everything. Men shout from the docks, orders, warnings, names of cargo. The language shifts with every voice, Dutch, English, fragments of others. You don't always understand, but you feel the urgency. Crates are lifted, dropped, dragged across wood that has already begun to rot. Barrels roll unevenly, ropes tighten, snap. Someone curses loudly, another laughs. Work never stops here because it cannot. Everything depends on this water: food, tools, cloth, news, people. Life itself arrives by ship. And if the ships don't come, the city feels it immediately. You see it in the market: less food, higher prices, tighter faces, quieter voices. The water gives, but it also takes. Storms rise without warning. The sky darkens too quickly. Waves grow violent, unpredictable. Ships disappear, not dramatically, not all at once, just gone. No return, no explanation, and with them, everything they carried. Sometimes bodies are found, washed back slowly, unrecognizable. Sometimes nothing returns at all. You stand there, watching the surface move, calm, almost peaceful, but you understand now. This is not safety. This is power, uncontrolled, unforgiving. The city lives because of this water, but it could just as easily be erased by it. This place is not safe, not yet, not even close. You feel it the longer you stay, not in one moment, but in many small ones. A look that lingers too long, a conversation that stops when you approach, a hand tightening around something hidden beneath a coat. This is not a city built on order. It is built on uncertainty, on tension, on people trying to claim something that does not yet belong to them. You hear stories, quietly, never spoken loudly. Conflicts with those who lived here before. Land taken, land defended. Violence that does not disappear, only moves. Closer, then further away, then closer again. Nothing is settled, nothing is finished. Even inside the settlement, danger does not stop. A man is accused of theft. Voices rise, not controlled, not measured. Anger spreads quickly here, because there are no systems strong enough to hold it back. No real authority that everyone trusts. No certainty that tomorrow will look like today. A fight breaks out. Fast, brutal, over in seconds. But the tension remains. It always remains. You realize something slowly. Danger here is not an event. It is a presence, constant, waiting, sometimes quiet, sometimes loud, but always there, watching. And all it takes is one moment for it to become real. You step inside the house and immediately feel the difference. Outside, the world is open, unfinished. But here, it closes in. The walls are wood, rough, uneven. You can see the gaps between the planks, thin lines where cold air slips through without effort. The wind does not stay outside. It follows you in. The fire burns low in the center, not strong enough to warm the entire room, only enough to survive. Smoke rises, then stops, trapped beneath the ceiling, hanging there, heavy. You breathe it in because you have no choice. The space is small, smaller than it should be for the number of people inside. A table stands near the wall, scratched, used. A bed in the corner, straw packed into cloth, flattened from too many nights. Everything feels temporary, like it could be taken apart or abandoned at any moment. Nothing here is built for comfort, only for staying alive. You hear the wood shift slightly, a quiet creak, the kind that reminds you this place is not permanent, not yet, maybe never. Darkness comes quickly. There are no lights, only fire, torches. Shadows grow long, unpredictable. You hear movement outside. Hard to tell what it is, human, animal, something else. You stay inside because outside is unknown. You listen. And for the first time, there is silence, not complete, but real. No endless noise, no constant movement, just space, wind, water, distance. This place is not full yet, not crowded, not finished. You look around. It is small, rough, uncertain. But something is here, something growing, something that will not stay this way. You can feel it. Even now, you stand at the edge of the settlement, looking back. Wood, smoke, movement, a beginning. You take one last look and step away. This world, rebuilt using AI from medieval engravings, maps, and records, lets you walk through New York as it was in 1600s, not as a story, but as a place. And for a moment, you were there.